Wayde, are you there? Coach Wayde, Coach Wayde.
I'm here. I'm here laughing at you. That's all good.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because I'm hearing you talk, and I'm talking through my head of how the grapes get seedless in the first place, and it's probably inappropriate for me to mention.
Yeah, well, welcome to my show. This is why I like you so much. our minds.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, when two female grapes get together and then they have an offspring, then that's how you get seedless grapes.
True story.
That's actually what they do.
Exactly.
That's actually what they do. All right.
Why?
I guess
All right.
it wasn't so inappropriate after all.
It wasn't inappropriate, but it is funny. No, but this conversation today was sparked by a guest I had last week. I had a guest named Striker Dunn, right? Super cool talent. And I really enjoyed his presence, but it was something in our conversation that sparked me wanting to have this conversation, because he was talking about the fact of how his mother always gave him tough love, because she knew how hard the world was, so she gave him a lot of tough love. And I started thinking about that because of the fact that I know a lot of young men in Jamaica, especially in the garrison, either are raised on tough love or no love. And that is a serious problem. How can we expect them to be better men, or to be men that know how to be tender, caring, and empathetic in relationships, if a majority of our young men, especially the garrison young men, are never even really taught it? So I wanted you to talk to some of these young men who might be looking at people who are in love, or families who have love, want that for themselves, but are unsure of how to take the steps towards accepting love and then being able to give love.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think there's an unfortunate synonym that's drawn between tough love and no love.
Yeah.
And they're two different things altogether. I think I give tough love to my kids all the time.
Yeah.
The difference is, even when I discipline my children and if I have to spank, I sit down afterwards and I walk through exactly what happened and why you got spanked. And I think that's where the tough love part may come in, because at least you're still given enough love to sit down and talk with the person, let them know why and the purpose behind it. Then you have no love. And unfortunately, I'm not saying this is a situation for his mom.
Yeah,
but
no, definitely not.
A lot of moms, they never knew how to they never got love in the first place.
Yeah.
So how do you give something that you've never felt like you received?
Exactly.
That you never felt that you had? I remember, I think I was in my late 20s when my mom said to me at the end of a phone call, "Okay, love you." I was like, "What the hell is this?"
You know what I would get if I said love you? If I said love you to my mom, what you want? What you want? What you want? What you want? What's wrong? What you want? Yeah.
And it caught me off guard. I was like, "I love you too?" I didn't even know how to reply to it. And I think that's how I grew up, with that lack of expression of love. Love is there.
Yeah.
It's not spoken about, and sometimes you don't ever see it.
Yeah.
And if you've never expressed or felt something, it's really hard for you to then give something that you've never had yourself.
Exactly.
And it's a journey of self-discovery that you really would have to go on for you to be able to get there and to be able to find it and discover it.
Are there any common steps that we can say you can take to start that journey?
Well, the thing about it is, a lot of times people, and I'll include myself, you felt love before. You've been given the love, but because you don't identify it as love, you push it away.
Yeah, it's scary.
And you push people away that have actually shown that love. And a lot of people, I'm sure, are listening right now, can think of someone who's given them or shown them a lot of love over the years, and you push them away because it made you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You weren't used to getting it. Yeah. So one of the things that you would have to do is go back and revisit what that relationship was about, what that actually felt like, what was being given, and what happened in that circumstance. And then also go back to how it made you feel. And you need to identify the feelings that you were going through at the moment. And then the second part is, why did you feel that way? Yeah. Because you felt scared, you felt uncomfortable, but why? Why did you feel uncomfortable? Why did you feel scared? Why did it make you feel that way? When we start breaking down those layers of why you're feeling the way you're feeling and why things affected you to the way that you did, you will start understanding it. But you can't understand something until you get to the why. So you have to start understanding why something happened before you can appreciate that it did.
Sometimes you might not even get an answer to the why, because you might not know why your mother or your father was not able to love you like you wanted them to. You might never get that answer. So say if you're one of those people that never is going to be able to get the answer. Maybe your parents died. Maybe you don't know who your father is, but you still feel that pain. How do you get past the not knowing to being able to conquer that, to now say, I'm going to be a different person. I'm going to end this cycle, and I'm going to learn to love and learn to be loved. Because the greatest gift you can ever have is to be loved and to love someone. That is the greatest feeling ever.
And I'll go through my personal journey myself of the discovery I went through. It's when I had children that I started showing a different side of me, and I started becoming softer, because I started going, it is really and truly. Sometimes I sit back and I feel a tear coming, like, what the heck is this? What's coming out of my eye?
Moisture.
It was when I had kids that it softened me a little bit. And the reason why is because I started looking back at what I went through and what I did not have, and what I wanted. More importantly, what I longed for and what I wanted. And the things that I didn't have is what I wanted to start giving to my children. It's what I wanted to make sure that they felt. And so if you grew up within yourself and you felt that you didn't get the love that you were looking for, you didn't get the appreciation that you were looking for, you can pass that off onto someone else. And you can start showing. And it's not easy, because you don't know what it feels like. You don't know and it feels foreign at first.
That's me and my son.
Listen, it feels weird, but you can start it. You can start the journey within you. Now, one of the other things, that is important, again, is self-reflection, self-discovery. And I know it's a stigma in our community, but counseling is very, very important as well, too.
We need counseling. There's nothing wrong with that.
You can call someone like me who can walk you through things. You can go to a psychiatrist, you can go to a psychologist, you can go to a therapist. You can go to so many people that can help you identify the feelings that you're having, because you may say, I've never felt love, but you have feelings.
Exactly.
And
what
you
you're
need to
saying is
identify
true.
what these are.
I gotta tell my listeners that right there, what he just said about seeking help and talking to somebody who is more, I guess, educated in the field of mental health and wellness and stuff like that. It is imperative that you do that. Like, literally, I didn't do that till a little over a year ago. I mean, you feel things wrong in your mind. You feel the anger sometimes. You feel the depression. And you kind of think to yourself that maybe you're just one of many that feels this way. So why am I making a big deal of it? Just buck up. And you tell yourself that. So instead of doing that, I'm telling you, it is sometimes better to have the conversation, because then that person who really knows can help guide you on how to stop feeling those uncontrollable feelings, or to help you better control those uncontrollable feelings.
Let's get past the stigma, though, Nikki. The stigma in our culture is that if you go to see someone, then you're mad. Yeah, go mad.
Yeah, I accept being mad. What's wrong with being mad, though? What's wrong with being mad?
Well, it depends on the level of mad.
Exactly. I am here to say crazy is the new sane. You see you people walking around like everything's just perfect. Uno are the real mad people. Thank you.
True. No lie.
Thank you.
All right. But I want to get past that stigma that's associated with people who go to see counseling. Yeah. So if you have a car and you hear a rattle in the engine, what do? You take it to the mechanic. Yeah, if you have something on your foot and you have a cut and it's starting to,
go to the doctor.
You take it to the doctor, right? When things are going wrong in other aspects of your life, you will go ahead and you fix it. If there's a plumbing issue, you call a plumber. If there's call an electrician. If something's going wrong in your mind, why do you leave that there? Why do you leave that to fester? Right. Because if you didn't fix the engine, it's going to become a bigger problem till it blows. If you didn't fix your leg, you're going to get gangrene and you have to cut it off. If you didn't fix the plumbing, you're going to flood the electricity. You're going to So if you don't fix a problem that you have identified, it becomes a bigger problem.
Absolutely.
And we do that within ourselves. If there's something within you that you know what, something's not right. I'm not loving the way I should be loving. I'm not feeling love the way I should be feeling love. I feel hurt. I feel damaged. I feel depressed. I feel down. These are things that you're identifying that are wrong. Why are you not fixing those?
Exactly.
Why are you leaving those to fester if you would have fixed every other problem in your life?
Exactly.
And so that's where the stigma against counseling coming in, that something's wrong with me if I go to counseling. No, as you said, Nikki, sometimes you just need another voice.
Yeah.
Someone saying the same thing that you know in a different way that brings it to light, that makes you have that eureka, aha moment that you may not be able to give yourself, right? Yeah, it's not that bad.
It's not bad at all. Like, you could call up this guy here, Coach Wayde. It's like, you don't even, look, I'm going to tell you the first time, because, like, literally the only reason I went into one of them psychologists' office is because the Army people made me when I had to file for my benefits. Like, literally, they made me. I would not be going up in any of them offices because, like you just said, that's what crazy people do. You know what I mean? So, I'm just saying, that's in my head. So, I would never, but I will tell you the truth of all honesty. The first time I sat down in one of those offices, do you know what happened to me? I completely spazzed out.
I was about to say, you went off, didn't you?
The woman didn't even have to say hi to me. I sat down in a chair. I looked to my left. I looked to my right. I realized I was in a psychologist's office, and it's just everything just started convulsing, and it just was uncontrollable madness of tears and like, what am I doing here? You know, and you could just see the lady looking at me like it was just another day in her office, though. And she just waited till the panic attack stopped, and she was like, okay.
This is just day one for her. This is day one.
Yeah, she was like this. So how do you feel now?
Right? Is that better?
Better.
You know, I'll tell you what happens a lot of times. Usually men, when they leave after a few weeks of meeting together, one of the things I always hear, especially among Black men, is, this is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's not. Especially when it comes to couples counseling, the guys think that they're going to be blamed for everything. It's going to be told that it's all their fault. And when I meet with singles or individuals who are coming for other guidance, they thought that it was going to be me saying something's wrong with them and that they're crazy or they're nuts. And no one wants to hear those things. They don't want to be identified as a certain person or a certain type. So for that reason, you avoid going to hear the thing that you think you're going to hear because you don't want to hear it.
You don't want to hear it.
It's a lot of times it's not the case. It's not the case. A lot of times it's just sitting down and talking through things that have happened, what you're looking for, what you're hoping to accomplish, setting goals to accomplish it. That's a lot of things that we go through.
Help you make your relationship stronger. Couple counseling is just that. So if you don't want to go, then to me, it just means that you don't have enough vested that you want to make this stronger. So, I mean, you got to really just do certain things if you want your relationship to go. And that's what people don't understand. A lot of people get in relationships because this person's cute, this person has money. Relationships are work, people.
Oh my gosh, is it? And you said that couples counseling is about making your relationship stronger. Individual counseling is also about making your relationship stronger.
True.
Your relationship with yourself, with your mind, with your. You know what I say to a lot of people? I want you to tell me who your ideal self is, and who your real self is, and
who's your ideal self.
Yeah. What's your ideal?
No, who is your ideal self, Coach Wayde?
Well, I heard you. I was trying to avoid it.
I know.
What I'm trying to... I have done a lot of work towards getting to my ideal self right now. Ideally, what I always wanted was to have a family. I wanted to have a beautiful wife. She had to be beautiful. I'm sorry. I wanted to have a beautiful wife, and I wanted to have kids. I have the picket fences, and I mean. She could have been, she doesn't have to be beautiful in your eyes, but she's beautiful in my eyes. And that's the important thing. I want to have the family. I want to have a successful job, a successful career, good kids and all of that. And I can say that, through my blessings, I've been able to achieve it. I've been able to achieve every single thing that I wanted. Ideally for me now, it's not even about me anymore, Nikki. Ideally for me, it's about my kids. Ideally, I'd like for them to be able to grow into what they want to be, to become respectful members of society and this, that. That's the new ideal. And I need to figure out where it is now versus where the ideal is and how I can help them achieve that.
Absolutely.
But that's what I want people to do for themselves. What is your ideal? Where would you like to be? Where are you now? And what's the difference between the two? What's stopping you from getting to that?
Money.
And then we work through the path. It's almost never money. It's almost never money.
I'm only. The only thing
well, it depends on the ideal self, I guess.
Because my ideal self has a nice piece of big old land with a backyard with a nice little river creek right in the backyard.
But that's not money. That's the plan. That's the ideal. Money is not.
Money, forget it.
It's the path to getting the money that we need to identify.
Okay.
That's what we need to work out. What's that path towards getting it?
I'm working on it, trust me.
Because I want to know where the address is. I want to come there and sit on the veranda with the beach in the background too. So,
that's what
is it an Airbnb? Like, what's it going to be? Like, let me know how I get there.
Only Airbnb for my friends. I don't want nobody messing up my place. I'm sorry. No. I'm going to be a bougie Airbnb with my property.
You be sitting there watching people on cameras. What you doing looking in my drawers?
Exactly. They gonna hear me coming over the loudspeaker. I ain't tell you to go in there. What you doing?
I think that's a violation of their policy.
I don't care. I don't care. But we got Coach Wayde on the line. And for all of our wonderful black men, all of our wonderful Caribbean men, all of our wonderful Jamaican men that are listening right now that might not feel like you've received love, but you want that loving feeling, it starts with first you being able to accept it. So taking steps is doing what again, Coach Wayde?
So can I change that a little bit?
Sure,
and say,
knock yourself out.
For those who feel that they haven't received love, I can tell you that you have. You just didn't identify it as what it is.
Yeah.
You just didn't, because it didn't look in a way that you wanted it to be packaged in. You didn't look at it in the way that you wanted it to be. Now,
or the way that you thought that love is, because there's some really weird people out there that feel like if he's not hitting me, he don't love me, and that's weird. But they really do believe that.
That's a conversation for a different show, because
Yeah,
I can walk you through that as well too. I can tell you that exists for sure.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
But one of the things that I really think that number one, you have to go through a journey of self-discovery, and it's a journey that is not. It's not a quick one. It is a long one. Yeah. Sometimes it requires isolation. I can tell you that one of the biggest things I did was I went to the Hotel Sunset Jamaica in Mobay. I think it's called something else now. But when I stayed there, I was by myself, and I had the biggest epiphanies. I had the biggest things in my head because no one was there to distract me, to stop me, and to make me think anything different. And I was able to figure a lot of things out on my own because I was left with my own thoughts.
Exactly.
So being with your own thoughts can be the biggest. A lot of people are scared of that. That can be one of the most therapeutic things that you can do. Mm-hmm. Lock yourself in a room and just think through things. So the journey of self-discovery is number one. Number two, get someone to help you with that journey. Yeah. It doesn't have to be a solo journey. Yeah. It doesn't have to be something that you accomplish on your own. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help is a great sign of strength. Yep. It means you've identified that there is something that you need to do and you can't do it on your own because you need someone to help you. That is strength. Weakness is thinking that you can do everything. Strength is realizing that you need someone to help you through certain things.
Weakness is also running from your emotions. Too many people think because they don't have emotions, that's what makes them strong. No, being strong is being able to face your emotions, handle your emotions, and move past your emotions. So if you're constantly running from love or people really caring about you, that's not showing strength. That's actually a big form of being fragile. Fragility.
It's what you're talking about is emotional intelligence, the ability to identify the emotions and the feelings that you're all going through. Because I hear people say that, you know what, he doesn't have any feelings. Everyone has feelings.
Everyone does.
Everyone has feelings. And you know what, the opposite of love isn't even hate. It's apathy, because it's the lack of even caring, period, about anything. Yeah. And there are very few people that are there. I mostly psychopaths. And
I was gonna say that's mostly a psychopath's way of life.
Yeah, it's a psychopathic thing. I'm being very serious, not even trying to be jovial or anything.
Not at all.
That's what usually happens, and that usually needs a psychologist actually.
And that's actually a serious mental issue, a diagnosable mental issue.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so you're not there. Just because you don't feel the way, or you think you don't feel the way that other people do, doesn't mean you're a psychopath.
No,
it just means you might need someone to help you identify what. Here's a really basic one I'm going to go through quickly. A lot of times I hear people say, I'm so mad. I'm so angry. Yeah. I said, are you really? Are you really angry? Yes, I am. Okay, so let's talk through that. Are you really angry, or are you disappointed? Or are you hurt? Do you feel let down? Well, you know what? Yeah, it actually is disappointment. And we have one emotion that expresses everything else. When in actuality, we need to identify what the true emotion is so that we can work through it.
Yeah, and that could save relationships. It could save arguments, you from having arguments with besties and friends, help you communicate better.
Self-awareness and emotional intelligence is one thing we have to go through. Yeah. And lastly, just, let your wall down. Yeah. Allow yourself, that wall that you build up, it's a two-way wall. Because a lot of times people build up walls to hide and protect their self, and to protect their emotions from coming out and from people to see their emotion. But that wall has another side too. It also blocks emotions from coming in. It doesn't just block you from displaying and people from seeing your emotions. It blocks people from giving it to you, and it blocks you from feeling the emotion that someone's trying to give to you. So that wall that you build up is not just one way. It doesn't only stop yours. It stops others from coming in. We need to slowly, it's like the Berlin Wall. Get a sledgehammer, start breaking it down one piece at a time, and you will understand that you've never felt love until you're able to allow yourself to feel vulnerability and to be vulnerable.
You hear that, black man, black man? This one was for you, listening all across the island and online. Trust me. Don't go out there looking for love in all the wrong places.
That one I know. I remember the last song.
You know that song? You know the Eddie Murphy version? Looking for love in Saturday Night Live. You don't remember that one? All right, anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You do? Okay, good. Buckwheat.
I was about to ask if you remember Eddie Murphy's song, because Eddie Murphy had a song as well that he sang, and a lot of people don't know.
Don't play with me. Oh, yes. Oh. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
That's the song.
You about to make me drop another Eddie Murphy just because you said that. Eddie Murphy, a big time singer. You never hear him reggae song yet. You ever hear him reggae song yet?
Oh, I have actually heard the reggae song. That one, both songs were hilarious.
Boast it first. Check my YouTube page. That's where the official YouTube visualizer video is. It's on my YouTube
that
page.
disco one wasn't so bad either, you know. That party all the time. That was when I used to DJ.
Good. Every once in a while, it was so bad. And then he got a song with Beanie Man called One of These Nights. I might have to drop it before I get out of here today. Coach Wayde, it's always so good to talk to you. Next week, what we said we're going to talk about, the men who just be free with their sperm and just be having baby mamas and take care of their kids. Is that what we said? I don't remember.
Oh.
I've been wondering, do y'all not want to protect y'all sperm?
I'm going to get out of here on that one.
He running, run. Yeah, better run. We go to commercial break. Thank you, Coach Wayde.
I'm gonna be listening for that song. I want to hear that Eddie song with Beanie.
I'm gonna play right after the break. It's the Bridge 99.